It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Great moments are born from great opportunity. And that's what you have here. That's what you've earned here tonight.
Forget about the crowd. It's the size of the school. Their fancy uniforms. And remember what got you here. If you put your effort and concentration into playing to your potential, to be the best that you can be, I don't care what the scoreboard says at the end of the game, in my book, we're going to be winners.
On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that inch. We claw with our fingernails for that inch because we know when we add up all those inches, that's gonna make the difference between winning and losing.
It's down to the wire with Errol Marks and Speedy Petey.
Oh, Petey!
On the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Down to the Wire. We are live every single Monday and Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. New York Eastern Time. Our new time on Tuesdays will be 10:30 p.m. starting tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. It will be a late show for all the fans that want to tune in to Down to the Wire every single Tuesday. It will be at 10:30 p.m. and Below the Mic will be 10:30 p.m. every single Thursday.
So to the original time.
So that's what we're going to be moving it to moving forward for the next couple of weeks, really the next couple of months, and then we'll see where we are at from there. Anyways, as you guys know, you can reach us by going to our website at www.worldwidesportsradio.com. And our app on Apple is not up right now. We're working on getting it up again, but it's still on Android. All you have to do is go to Worldwide Sports Radio Network. We have a lot of sports to talk about today, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get into certain big coaches that just passed away over the weekend. We are also going to get into the baseball trade deadline. We also have two very special guests that are going to be coming on the show, one at 6:30 and the other at 7:15. And we're going to get into this whole social injustice thing that seems to never end with the NBA and LeBron James. But first things first, I want to talk about John Thompson, and I respected John Thompson for many, many years. Georgetown head coach. He scouted Hakeem Olajuwon. He scouted Patrick Ewing. He scouted some of the best big men in NBA history. And you look at John Thompson, and by the way, Allen Iverson as well. When you look at John Thompson and the growth of some of these young players that came from the Georgetown collegiate game and the championships that he won over there in Georgetown, he really transitioned the sport of college basketball over there in Georgetown and really revolutionized some of the best young big men we've seen in the NBA in history. When you look at John Thompson, he taught a lot of different things to his players. One thing is respect, understanding the game, and playing the game hard. And John Thompson he revolutionized the game, especially all those games against Villanova in the 80s and all the great games in the Final Four and March Madness. He changed and transitioned the game and basketball. And the reason why Patrick Ewing has a job right now in Georgetown as a head coach was because of John Thompson. His son was over there after he was there, obviously got fired after, I think, almost 9-10 years being over there in Georgetown. And then Patrick Ewing took over the reins and hopefully will transition the team and transition the school to a top-notch basketball program again.
Right, and especially with what he did with the Big East, too. He was part of that whole collective group of teams that really made the Big East the powerhouse it is. It's not known for a lot of other sports. It's decent with hockey, it's decent with baseball, but it's not the powerhouse it is with basketball. And a lot of those schools don't even have football teams. So he really had to help put him on the map with Villanova, with several other teams in that mix. Obviously, UConn doing it recently as well. So really, he had to do that. He was one of the pioneers of that Big East and the growth of it.
And we are also going to get into the NFL. There was a couple of trades over the weekend. We'll get into that. The Jags seem like they're going to throw away players, and they're dropping players, waiving players. Leonard Fournette got waived yesterday. So we will get into that a little bit later. I know a lot of people think we're not going to talk football. We will talk about football. We will also talk about the New York Jets as well. But back to John Thompson, when you look at Patrick Ewing, Allen Iverson, Dikembe Mutombo, all these different players that we've seen come in and out of the NBA, some of the best big men we've ever seen, the transition of what the NBA has become and what it is. And Hakeem Olajuwon, I'm sorry, did not play for Georgetown.
Yeah, he played against them with Houston. But he
Yes.
definitely had a game to scout him out, though.
Yes, and Alonzo Mourning played for Georgetown. So there were a lot of great big men, NBA Hall of Famers that played for John Thompson. So I correct myself. It wasn't Hakeem Olajuwon that played for Georgetown, but he played against Patrick Ewing. And when you look at what John Thompson has done for the league, at college basketball and the NBA, and the transition of some of these NBA players. He taught the NBA game to these players before they came into the NBA. He taught team basketball. He taught team defense. He revolutionized the game for what we see today and some of the young players that we see come into the league.
Yeah, and again, it was one of the times in the 80s where there was a lot of those college superstars, so sometimes the team basketball element could have been lost, but not at Georgetown and definitely not throughout the Big East.
So I want to give a shout-out to the Thompson family for a loss, a great loss, who is one of the greatest college coaches of all time and one of the most respectable college coaches of all time, John Thompson, who passed away over the weekend. So, again, may you rest in peace, and hopefully we can see the development of Georgetown basketball up at the top of the Big East again. So that's what I got to say about that. Anyways, I do want to get into the NFL. Now, we have two very special guests. At 6:30, we'll be talking to Oregon cornerback recruit Jaylin Davies. And at 7:15, we'll be talking to Notre Dame safety recruit Nolan Ziegler. So we have them coming on. So I'm sure you guys are going to love these interviews. Two very special players, two top young scouting, top young notch players that are going to be coming to our show. And we've interviewed some of the best recruits from college football. So that's something that you guys are going to definitely look forward to. But I want to get into the NFL. And over the weekend, Jacksonville has seemed to give up on the season this year. And we all know they want Trevor Lawrence. We all know that Trevor Lawrence is probably going to be the number one pick in next year's draft, and he's highly profiled quarterback that the last time we've heard of a highly profiled quarterback like this, I guess you could say Sam Darnold, or you can even go back a little bit Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
That would be the two quarterbacks that we've heard very highly and very highly rated top quarterbacks that everybody was talking about possibly being number one quarterbacks, number one picks before the draft. Obviously, Sam got snagged, and he went 3 to the Jets, and Baker Mayfield went number one, which I think Cleveland is going to regret in the future. But nevertheless, you look at Leonard Fournette. Leonard Fournette has been one of the most dominant power running backs in the league for the last 4 years. Look at his numbers, even the numbers that are even down. He's a 1,000-yard rusher. He averages about 5 to 6 touchdowns a year. And he's also a guy that we talk about power runners. There are not many power running backs anymore. A lot of these running backs could do two things: catch the ball in the backfield. They use him for wide receivers. Leonard Fournette is a power back. That's what he is. That's what he does. And there's maybe 2 or 3 running backs in the league that do that now. So when you look at Leonard Fournette, there'll be a lot of people on the phone with Leonard Fournette's agent and trying to bring him in to the organization, to their organization. Dallas being one of them. I could see them bringing him in to be that other, I guess.
Back, yeah.
No, I wouldn't even say complimentary. I mean, he could actually win the job over Ezekiel Elliott. I still think Ezekiel Elliott does not fit that offense. I've said that over and over again. I think more.
Does Fournette fit that offense, though?
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
But I've said this over and over again. The Cowboys like to bring in superstars. It doesn't matter if he fits the offense, if he doesn't. I think that he's a superstar player. He's a young player still. He's fairly young. He's 26 years old. He can still run the ball, and he's going to be looking for a big contract. He is. If he has a good season this year, he's going to get a big contract. Somebody's going to give him a big contract.
Staying in the NFC East, I could see that. The Eagles definitely making him.
Even the Jets. Even the Jets right now, because I know they made a trade with Miami over the weekend and bring in that kid from Miami who played with Adam Gase.
I don't think he's coming. I think they failed his physical.
Oh, he failed his physical? Yeah. I didn't hear about that. Yeah. What happened today? It had to happen today because it happened over the weekend.
It was on CJ's show. CJ was saying it on his show. That
so
it would have been yesterday.
So it probably happened yesterday over the weekend. So
which is good because Leonard Fournette's way better than him anyway.
Well, you look at the big picture, and you heard what Le'Veon Bell said. Le'Veon Bell says there's no need to bring in another running back to help him out. Piron got hurt over the weekend. We don't know, ankle injury. He might not be back for a couple of weeks, maybe a month from now. So we don't know the extent of his ankle sprain or maybe a broken ankle. We don't know what it is. He's going to get an MRI today or tomorrow, and then it'll probably come out either Wednesday or Thursday what's going on with him. And the season starts in a week now. So the Jets are going to have to look for a second back because they don't have one. And you could say whatever you want with Le'Veon Bell. If Le'Veon Bell gets hurt, where are the Jets going as a running back? So there is running backs available right now in free agency, Leonard Fournette being one of them, and I think he's one of those guys that you have to look at. You're not going to have to pay him a lot of money because he's going to probably take a year contract, and then next year go into free agency and see where the numbers lie. I mean, also Freeman is still Devontae Freeman is still available. That's somebody that the Jets should look at as well, a guy that can run inside and out. He fits the Adam Gase offense, so I'd be very surprised if the Jets don't look at Devontae Freeman,
he might be even cheaper at this point than Fournette is. And honestly, he might be a little bit better, too, just more all around.
Well, again, we have to look at the big picture right now, and the Jets as a whole they have a lot of holes right now. And you're looking at the injuries they have. They have a ton of injuries right now on that team. So they're a team to look. And by the way, everybody was talking about this pass rusher getting traded. Well, he got traded over the weekend. And Ngakwe got traded. And who did he get traded to, by the way?
Minnesota. He got traded to Minnesota.
Which I'm very surprised why Minnesota made that trade because they're going to have to pay him next year.
Yeah, they already were having some cap trouble during this offseason. That's why they had to purge a lot of assets on defense, including their former pass rusher and Everson Griffin. So it'll be
who went to the Cowboys.
So again, they're going to have to make up that money to be able to re-sign him, which is going to be very hard to do. They gave up a second-round pick and a conditional fifth-round pick, which if Ngakwe plays as well as he did with Jacksonville in previous years, could turn into a third-round pick.
Well, again, I do not believe Minnesota will be able to sign him next year. I think they brought him in for this year to win a Super Bowl. Minnesota is expecting to win a Super Bowl this year. They extended Kirk Cousins' contract last year. They extended, I think, 2 years to his contract. And they expect to win at least one Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins in this, I guess you could say, bag of misfits. And there's a lot of them on this team. And they tried to get rid of some of them. One of them went to Buffalo. There was a ton of, Emerson Griffin, who, I don't know, he's out of his mind. He was in a mental institution.
Three of their corners, too.
Yep. I mean, this is a team that has a lot of misfits on their team. So I could see, and Ngakwe, he's a good player. We know he's a pass rusher. He can't stop the run. He's known for his pass rushing. So I'm interested to see where Ngakwe goes in the offseason if Minnesota's going to be able to sign him because, again, they have cap trouble right now. And he's going to, if he has another season with 12 or 13 sacks this year, he's going to want $100 million. They can't afford that. They can't pay him.
And their run defense, like you were mentioning, is already kind of questionable as it is because they lost Linval Joseph in the offseason. They signed Michael Pierce, but now Michael Pierce dropped out of the season. So now they have nothing really inside much, mainly pass rushing DTs. Danielle Hunter's a great player, great pass rusher, but he's a smaller guy, so it's going to be harder for him to stop the run as effectively. So that's going to make it very hard and put a lot of pressure on those linebackers. And if they're focusing on stopping the run, it's not going to help them in coverage when they already lost 3 corners. So that's going to make it very hard for Mike Zimmer. They're going to have to hope these rookies that they drafted could step up right away.
And the 2 lead teams that are looking for a running back right now, what I'm seeing is the Patriots and the Buccaneers. Those are the 2 top teams right now looking for Leonard Fournette. I could see the Patriots making that move and landing Leonard Fournette, especially when you can get him on the cheap. And you saw they got Cam Newton on the cheap. It's crazy to say that the New England Patriots got Cam Newton, one of the great quarterbacks, one of the top 7 quarterbacks in the league, for practically nothing.
I really like that fit, too, because then you're creating a power-on-power essence with your run game. Obviously, Cam Newton, both of them are actually good outside.
I do not want to see Leonard Fournette on the Patriots.
But you could create that power run identity.
Even though the Jets have done very well against Leonard Fournette. They've stopped Leonard Fournette. And they know, and the Jets have a very good run defense. So I'm interested to see if Leonard Fournette goes there. I could also see the Buccaneers, the Buccaneers that need a power back. It's something that they've lacked in the last couple of years. They've had minuscule different running backs over the last couple of years.
Ever since Doug Martin left.
Yes, this has not been a running team. And Bruce Arians is not a running coach. But Leonard Fournette gives you that power, that gives you that back that can move the ball inside and out, inside the hash where you would expect the running back to cause trouble in the middle of the field where they've lacked for the last couple of years.
Well, he's good at one thing, though. He's good at making random running backs work, though. We saw that even the one year with the Colts. We saw that with a rotation of different running backs. They really had nothing on that team when it came to running the football. Then Arizona, you saw Andre Ellington break out of nowhere. Then Chris Johnson got rebirthed for a little bit. And then you saw David Johnson obviously come out of nowhere and play well. He did for the year and a half that he did. Now, it didn't show at Tampa last year with Ronald Jones or Peyton Barber, but they drafted a kid in Keyshawn Vaughn, so that's definitely another one they could look at. And again, if they do want to go that route, who better than Fournette, who's still very young and skilled?
And by the way, the New York Giants made a move today, and they landed Logan Ryan. Everybody was talking about him going to the Jets. Well, the Giants got him for a one-year deal, which is a great move for the New York Giants. Yeah. I mean, losing Baker possibly for the season, maybe for the rest of his career.
And they lost McKinney for 2 months.
They lost McKinney too, so they needed that other DB, that other corner, and this is a guy that was up for Defensive Player of the Year last year, early in the season, and then kind of fell off, and he was a big part of the reason why Tennessee went to the AFC title game. So Logan Ryan's a guy that knows the Patriots. Even though the Giants are not playing the Patriots this year, he's a team that can give you – he's a player that can give you depth, and he could also give – he knows the offense, he knows the defense that Judge is bringing in because he was a part of the New England Patriots. So he knows Logan Ryan very, very well, and I think Logan Ryan would have probably felt better and more comfortable going to the Giants with Judge than going to the Jets with Adam Gase. So I was very surprised hearing that today, that Logan Ryan went to the Giants, but it gives them that depth that they need, even though I don't think the Giants, and I was very surprised that Logan Ryan picked the Giants because he's not winning a Super Bowl with this young Giant team this year. I don't even think they're making the playoffs. No. So the fact that he took this, it was probably the best deal. I don't know what they offered him or what he got. I was hearing that he wanted somewhere along the lines of $11 million. I haven't heard anything of that yet. I'm sure it'll come out in the next day or so how much he got, but he got a significant. I'm sure the Giants gave him at least $9 to $10 million.
Yeah, I wonder if it's a sell high perspective for Logan Ryan. Maybe because the Giants are going to struggle, and maybe the defense will be on the field a lot because they're not very good. Maybe that's a showcase where he can up his stats, maybe get more interceptions or something like that, and then cash in next year. So maybe that was a factor, and obviously Joe Judge being there is also a factor too. Like Mike Vrabel when he went to Tennessee. Now Tennessee paid him more, obviously, because Tennessee paid him like a number one corner, but. Now, obviously, he seems to be acclimated with that Patriot system and wants to keep it going.
Well, I want to see where the Giants go this year. It's a year. I'm sorry, a year away. It's a week away. The season will start. We'll see where the New York teams are going to fall. A lot of people predict Buffalo is going to have a good season. I want to see if they can stay healthy enough. They're right now in the mix right now to being one of the top AFC teams. They have a very good defense. They have a tremendous amount of depth. They added a corner in the offseason that's going to help them moving forward. So I'm interested to see where Buffalo goes. But all in all, the AFC East is going to be very strong this year because I think Miami's going to be a lot better this year because they have a better team. They have more depth defensively. They're going to be able to get at you in the middle of the field defensively. And even though I think their weakest part of their defense is their corner position, I still think their front seven is fairly pretty good. So
Byron Jones and Xavier Howard's weak.
Well, I don't think a lot of people think that that's going to be first of all, Jones is overrated. All right, I've said this over and over again.
Sure, but again,
they overpaid for and who was the other one? You said Howard?
Xavier Howard.
Xavier Howard. First of all, Xavier Howard, how many good seasons has he had in the last couple of years?
The last 2 years.
The last 2 years, you think he has had a great year? He's had great years.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, tell me what's great to you, Speedy?
He was
how many interceptions? How many? I don't care what Pro Bowl. Me and you could go to the Pro Bowl if we had 2 or 3 interceptions in a season.
No, I think the other season
was he an All-Pro player?
I think 2018 he was. 2019 he wasn't.
So you're telling me that Terrence Howard was
Xavier Howard?
I'm sorry, Xavier Howard. Xavier Howard that played for Minnesota. Are we talking about that? No, that's Xavier Rhodes. That's Xavier. And where did Xavier Rhodes go? The Colts.
We thought about him for a while.
Yeah, which I think he's going to have a bad season too.
I know you do.
So Xavier Howard, Again, I don't think their cornerback position is going to be very, very strong this year. You think they are. I do not.
I think it's the best part of their defense.
No, I think the best part of their defense is the front seven. And I think they're going to be able to get at you just like they got at people at the end of the season last year. How many sacks did they have at the end of the season? They completely disrupted a lot of teams in the front seven that they did last season. And they didn't have the players that they added since this offseason. I think they're a lot better this year defensively in their front seven. The cornerback position, I still think they're very weak. I don't think they're going to be a good corner team. I think they're going to have a lot of problems right now in the middle of the field. I don't think they have a slot corner that can stop people. I think they're going to have a lot of problems over there. But all in all, Miami's going to be good this year. The Jets are going to be good this year. Buffalo is going to be good this year, and even the Patriots are going to be good this year. This might be one of the best divisions in all of football.
Yeah, I don't think any team.
And people might think I'm crazy, by the way, but I think they're going to be a lot better. This division is going to be a lot better than it has been.
It's definitely a competitive division. I don't think any team will win more than 10 games in this division. Like, I think the only one that probably could is Buffalo, maybe the Patriots, but it's definitely going to be competitive. I don't think you're going to see anyone really bad like we've seen in the past.
This is going to be one of those divisions you're going to keep your eyes on for the next couple of years because you have some of the best young quarterbacks in all of football in the same division.
Oh, yeah.
When you talk, Cam Newton's still fairly young. If he's still with the Patriots, he's only 31 years old. He could be there for another 8 years if he really wants to be, and if he stays healthy. You have Sam Darnold with the Jets. You have Tua with the Miami Dolphins, and then you have Josh Allen, who plays for the Buffalo Bills. So this is a really young and very interesting division when it comes to quarterback play, and I'm very interested to see, because I've been reading stories right now with the Jets that Sam's looked good one week, he's looked bad the other week. He's looked good one week, he's looked bad the other week. So I want to see, in the last 4 weeks of practice and what they've seen, I want to see Sam Darnold develop. I just don't know if they have enough weapons to do it. We know Josh Allen has more than enough weapons to do it this year. And Tua, I don't expect a lot from Tua this year. I don't even know if he's going to win the job.
Projected not to right now.
You know, so
Fitzpatrick's going to get it again.
I still think Tua, you'll see Tua for at least 7 or 8 games this year. I do not believe Fitzpatrick, once they get knocked out of the playoffs, and that could be really, really early in the season, because if you look at this division, this is a very hard when it comes to scheduling. This is very hard for the Jets, Miami, even the Patriots, and Buffalo. This is a hard schedule
this year. Yeah,
this is going to be a hard schedule from all 4 teams. I'm interested to see how this division reacts to the hard schedule. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, we will be talking to Oregon cornerback recruit Jaylin Davies here on Down to the Wire.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. You're listening to Down to the Wire on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Six 631-965-4990 is the number, as you guys know. Remember, you can go to our website at www.worldwidesportsradio.com. By the way, Speedy, we went, Xavier Howard never was an all-pro player. He was a one-time Pro Bowl player. That's it.
All right.
So saying that he's a superstar, he's not. He's a good corner. I again, going into this season, I don't expect that this cornerback position is solved for the Miami Dolphins. I think they're going to have problems in their secondary. I've said this, and I think their strength is going to be their front seven. I do not believe their secondary is going to be their strength. Anyways, we have a very special guest. We are now talking to Oregon cornerback recruit Jaylin Davies. What's going on, Jaylin?
Nothing much. How are you?
I'm good, man. A little tired. Long day. Not too warm. Not too humid today. It's one of those days today, like you could say it was San Diego weather here on Long Island, New York. So that's a good sign for us. But all in all, I've had an okay day. Dealing with some business is I'm not too fond of some things that have gone on today. But I'm here. I'm happy, and we got you on the phone. So how are you and your family doing with this pandemic?
Oh, they're doing pretty good. Everybody's just going to work. Kind of trying to get back to the old schedule, to get back to normal.
Now, are you going to school this year? Is Oregon open? Are you not doing Zoom calls right now? Because obviously we don't know if there's going to be a football season this year. Are you doing Zoom calls or Zoom videos for your college professors? Are you going to Oregon?
Right now, actually, I have a semester left from Mater Dei to complete my credits. Then I leave in December or January. And so right now we started school from Notre Dame today, like our first online, and then we're supposed to go back like in person to school on the 8th.
Oh, okay. So you are going back to school in Oregon.
No, I'm going back to Mater Dei for
Mater Dei. Okay, Mater Dei.
Yeah.
So you're transferring to Oregon.
Yeah, I have to finish a semester.
Right.
Like at Mater Dei to get the credits, and then I go to Oregon. Like,
all right, so
December,
you're a transfer. You're not a recruit. Okay, so I got that now. So when you talk about your position and the cornerback position, we were just talking about Xavier Howard and what Miami needed to do this offseason to better their defense. When you look at the cornerback position, and there's some top corners that we've seen over the years that came out of college, Darrell Revis, Deion Sanders. What type of player are you as a corner? Are you a up in your face, talking like a Jalen Ramsey, or are you a guy that kind of keeps your mouth shut and plays the game hard, it's fast and strong? What type of corner are you?
I kind of like talking. It kind of makes it more fun. Like, it kind of makes everybody kind of just try harder. And like sometimes at corner, they don't really want to throw it as much to my side, so I kind of just start talking, mess with people, and then they start throwing a little bit more.
So if I talk to you and I started to attack you at the line of scrimmage as a wide receiver, and I'm telling you can't stop me, you can't hold me, you're weak, you're too small, I'm going to push you around, I'm going to get you in the middle of the field, there's no way you're going to stop me, I'm a speed demon. What would you say to me if I was at the line of scrimmage telling you that?
I'd say different things, like pertaining to different people, but it's usually something like you're sorry, or already you don't have any catches, something like that.
So are you a person that actually studies the players that you play against? Do you actually watch them so you know how to get into their heads? Because a lot of Jalen Ramsey is the king of getting into people's heads. That's what he does. That's what he's good at. We've talked to Devin Kirkwood, who is one of the top recruits right now in football.
He's a trash talker.
And he's another trash talker. A very nice kid, by the way.
Yeah, I kind of play with Devin in 7-on-7. I was with him yesterday, actually.
Oh, really?
I kind of told him like a tournament, like, we have to talk. Like, if we play in corner, if you just sit there quiet, they're gonna think you're kind of like scared or soft. So talking kind of like let them know. Then really, when you break up a pass, it just makes it even better.
I like Devin. I thought Devin was a good kid, and he's a really smart kid, and you could tell he's got that it factor. 'Cause I think I can see him playing on that next level because of his it factor. He's smart and he's educated. His mom's very educated. I was very impressed in the conversation I had. So before I get into your football and where do you see yourself in the future, when you were recruited, and obviously you're not recruited, you're a transfer. How did Oregon reach out to you?
A transfer.
Well, I'm sorry.
I'm graduating high school, but I'm graduating from Mater Dei.
Okay.
Like, usually I would came to August.
So you're graduating from high school. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
so,
I started my senior year today.
Congrats! All right, so you are a recruit. You're not a transfer. You're a recruit.
Yeah, recruit.
There you go. Because Mater Dei, I thought it was a college that you were talking about. So,
no,
all right,
high school.
All right, so okay, so you're a recruit. So how did Oregon recruit you? Did they come into when they came into your house? When the coaches came into your house, and I'm sure you were recruited by a bunch of colleges, not just Oregon. What was the it factor of the coaches, and really how did they present the school to you that made you decide to go to Oregon?
I know a couple players that have gone there right now. Some live by me, and I play with some that went to Notre Dame. And I've always liked Oregon, even when I was a little kid. So I just talked to the coaches. I heard their plan they presented, and I kind of liked it. And I seen what they're building over there, and it's just something I wanted to be a part of.
So you actually turned down going to SEC schools. Alabama and Auburn both recruited you. And SEC obviously known for great defensive players throughout college football. A lot of great players that go into the NFL as well. So, but again, you chose Oregon instead. So what was some of the biggest reasoning behind that, especially, like I said, in a conference that is known for their defense? SEC defense is always talked about.
Oh, definitely Coach Cristobal. He definitely was a big part of it at the end. He came and talked to me. And he just told me, like, he was recruiting SEC defensive players. Like, last year he picked up Baby Man. Then he has players like Kayvon. And, like, he's just getting players I can see I compete with SEC teams, like when we play Georgia and stuff like that. And it just really showed me. And then Coach Rod, I talked to him, and he kind of breaks down the film, like how I learned it, like how my coach teach me at modern day. Just seeing it was something I can learn from.
As you guys know, we are talking to Oregon cornerback recruit Jaylin Davies. Now, Jaylin, the cornerback position is one of the most prestige positions in professional football. You talk about, and I'm not talking about Jamal Adams speaking about the safety position. I'm talking about the most important defensive positions are usually defensive end and cornerback. They get paid the most. And to me, if you have a shutdown corner, you could shut down one side of the field. So what type of corner are you? Are you a shutdown corner? Are you a guy that you can maneuver? You could put him in the slot. You could defend the slot position. Are you what type of player are you? If you were to pick a player right now in the NFL that you could compare your skills to, who would it be?
All right, now, probably Richard Sherman, Jaylin Ramsey, because I could play either outside or inside. I really just right now I just take the number one receiver and I just follow it, like inside or outside. I'm really comfortable in both outside or slot, and then I kind of just think about plays before. Like I know I can read concepts and pick up on some of the hints beforehand, and it kind of helps me.
That trend with Richard Sherman, with Jaylin Ramsey, and several others, we see it a lot in the NFL, and I think the Seahawks really started it, is those bigger physical press corners that you're seeing, whether it's press zone, like what Sherman specialized in, or press man, which Ramsey specialized in, even though he's great at zone too. That trend has really been a big thing. Do you think it will continue, especially with wide receivers as a whole getting bigger and more athletic as a whole as well?
Oh, press man is probably one of my favorite right now too. Just because more so like receivers getting smarter, quarterbacks getting better. Like they know where to put the ball in certain zones and stuff like that. But if you just take a man, it kind of just takes away everything.
As you guys know, we are talking to Oregon cornerback recruit Jaylin Davies. Now, Jaylin, I've grown up, and as I was growing up playing football, I studied guys like Darrelle Revis, and Darrelle Revis is one of those guys that they called his own island Revis Island. Okay, so this is a guy that was very well respected before he was drafted by the New York Jets, and the Jets moved all the way up from 14 to 7. When you look at the cornerback position, the speed of the game, you were talking about wide receivers. They're faster, stronger, bigger hands. They're more acrobatic. And you've seen Odell Beckham over the last couple of years, even though he doesn't shut his mouth. The guy has made fantastic catches. Even the gloves now that professional football players use, it's kind of like the ball sticks to your hands. Now, when you play the game, and the speed of the game, you're up at the line of scrimmage before the ball gets hiked to the quarterback. Do you try to get up on the guy and try to pressure him, or do you give him a little bit more leeway where you can kind of stuff him or try to intercept the ball in the open field? What type of player are you? I know you say you like to talk, and that's great, but I want to know what type of player you are on the field. Do you give the players a little bit more room? Because Darrelle Revis was more in your face at the line of scrimmage. He kind of pressured you up the line of scrimmage and throw you off your routes. Are you that type of wide receiver? I mean, a type of corner, or are you a different type of corner? You like to give some leeway, like a Richard Sherman, who likes to kind of sneak under the routes and try to take the ball away?
I kind of base it really. I really do. My DB coach right now, he kind of teaches me all of it. Like, I swear, he taught me like to kind of base it off the down and distance and the receiver, like what kind of releases they do. Give them different looks sometimes. Like sometimes I'll start off like first beginning of the game pressed up all game in his face, and then like I'll kind of just back off and like sit, like come underneath some routes. Like if he's giving me like a lot of releases like up the field, I kind of will stop him like at the line. But if he's just going, then I'll just go with him, get in his hip, and like turn back, try to make a play on the ball. It really depends on what he's doing, kind of really. Like for me. I use different techniques.
So you know Devin. So why didn't you go to UCLA? I mean, Devin was happy over there. You could have played on the other side of Devin. Both of you go to the NFL together, and there she blows. I mean, seriously, if you look at Chip Kelly, he really put Oregon football right on the map. And he left. He went to go coach in the NFL. Coached a couple of teams in the NFL, and then he came back and he went to UCLA. I mean, Oregon's a great school, and we saw Justin Herbert come, and he was in the top of the draft. What made you, and over the last couple of years, I've looked at some of the corners that went to the NFL. There weren't big name guys that came from that program as a corner. What made you really decide? I mean, because UCLA has been known for their cornerback positions. They're all different positions over the years. And I'm not saying you made the wrong decision, because I'm sure you made the right decision. But what really pushed you to go to Oregon from going to play with your friend in UCLA?
Really, I play with more people at Oregon than any other team. In fact,
oh, that's why I got you. I got you.
And I kind of think, like, really, just my opinion, Oregon's probably the best team in the pack. Like, that can compete with, like, Georgia's and teams like that. That's kind of what I want to go
really?
for. Like Rose Bowls and.
You want to win. You want to win a national title. I know what you want to do.
Yeah.
You want to win a national title. You want to go into the NFL, and it's everybody's dream. You're an athletic kid. I'm reading about you right now, and everything that I've read about you over here. You're a 4-star recruit, so you're a top profile guy, just like Devin. Devin was a 5-star recruit, and you're a 4-star recruit. So you're one of the most talented corners that were actually, as a recruit, that are going right now to play college football. So. As you guys know, I just want to let you guys know we are talking Oregon cornerback recruit Jaylin Davies. When you look at the NFL, and the NFL is not too far away from you as far as I'm concerned. Usually you have to play 2 years of eligibility of football, and then you can put yourself in the NFL draft. Do you see yourself as an NFL player? And if you do, what type of player could you tell people you are? Are you a friendly player? Are you a laid-back player? What type of player are you?
I definitely see myself on Sundays. I've said that for a while. It's not really a question anymore. But, like, in games, I'm kind of like, I'm laid back for me, but, like, not really. Like, for the other team, like, I don't really lay back with them. Like, while we playing, I don't really like you.
No, even off the field. Even off the field. What type of player are you?
Off the field,
yeah.
Off the field, I'm pretty laid back. I know a lot of, like, I hang out with a lot of the teams. Like, we play, like, we kind of friends off the field.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're at the tournaments, I know everybody. Like, we just kind of chilling. But, like, they know, like, when we're playing, it's like, oh, it's Jaylin.
So
they know I'm going to say or do something.
No, trust me. I played sports, too, and I used to talk, too. It didn't matter what sport it was. Hockey, football, basketball, baseball, even baseball. Talk. When I used to get on first base or second base or third base, I would be talking to the third baseman and say, I'm going to steal third. I'm going to steal home. I'm going to steal second. I used to tell them, and I used to throw them off because then they'd have to be close. They would have to play closer to the plate. Because they would expect me to try to steal. So you get into the mind of the player, and that really throws a player off.
And it kind of just tells me, like, even if once I start talking, like, I know I can't let him score.
Right.
He can't catch nothing.
It's confidence.
A little more.
You put yourself on and you want to feel confident when you're on the field, because if you feel confident against that player, you know that every single play you're going to challenge him and make him make mistakes and maybe open up the field for yourself to intercept the ball and run it in for a pick six. So,
definitely.
Yeah. So, and I see that about you. And Devin was a he was a very laughy guy. Yeah. He laughs about
We
everything.
Talked like a couple of months ago, like one of the tournaments. Like the minute he started talking, I was like, bro, he's gonna start talking. I was like, because he's so big. I was like, bro, you just have to hit him at the line. You good?
He is. He is big. Yeah. He's a big man, and you wouldn't notice it because when I was talking to him on the phone, he's not. He doesn't sound. He sounds like a down to earth.
Really cool. Bro.
Yeah.
Like off the field, me and him, we always laughing.
Oh, I could tell. I told Devin, and maybe we'll do this all together. When you guys go into the NFL draft and you both are a top, I don't know, 15, 20 pick, we'll all hang out and we'll celebrate your draft. And he's a big Gummy Bear fan, so I might have to.
Even in games when we play, we used to talk sometimes. Like mid-play, we're laughing. Guarding people.
Well, I want to make a deal with you, okay? This is my deal with you. I made a deal with Devin. I said, if you have 3 to 4 interceptions when the season starts, if there's a season this year or even next year, and you have over 3 to 4 interceptions in that season, I will send you 6 months supply of gummy bears. That's what I made a deal with him, and I'm going to live up to my deal. And he says, are you serious? I said, I'm absolutely serious. So
you said 3 to 4?
Yep, 3 to 4 interceptions. If he has more than 3, if he has 3 interceptions, I'll send it to him. But if he has more than that, I'm going to send him 6 months' supply of gummy bears. Okay, so and he was very excited about that, and his mom even heard me, and I'm a man of my word, so I live up to what I say. So we interviewed your tight end, Ferguson. Okay, nice kid, very smart, big guy. Do you know anything about him?
Oh yeah, I think he's in our group chat too. Like, we have an Oregon Commit group chat, like with the 21s. I've seen him before, definitely. I think he's been in the group chat talking a couple times.
I have a Carl Falk. He actually, one of our fans, he's writing to me right now. He wants me to ask you this question. What advice do you have for a 3 or 4-star recruit who might be a junior or senior in high school?
Really, just work on feet work. And just when you playing games, don't be scared. Come up and tackle. Coaches love corners that can come up and tackle and cover. And that's really it.
I want to open you. I want to open you guys up. When we interview you guys, we want you guys to be laid back. We want you to pretend that you were just talking to one of your buddies, because this is not one of those interviews where we're going to just ask you straight questions and then get you off and say, okay, we ask all the same questions everybody asks you. That's not how we are on this network, and that's not how we are on this show. I want you to have fun. I want you to be laid back, and I want you to open up. I want people to get to know you. You know what I mean? So that's the most important thing about some of these recruits that we interview is I tell them before we get them on the show, I want you guys to be yourselves, and don't worry about what you say. Don't fall back on what you want to say. Say what you feel. So I want you to do that when we're interviewing you.
I got you.
So, Jaylin, one of the biggest things with the Pac-12 is the parity of the conference. We saw USC be powerful for a while, Oregon be powerful for a while, but really after that whole phase ended, it's really been each team's been good at times, bad at times, and a lot of crazy games have been created. So is that one of the reasons that you wanted to play for Oregon as well, those crazy games, and especially now in an all-conference schedule coming up this year? Do you think these games will be extra crazy with these road teams winning, these upsets, things like that?
I can't. It's going to depend really on who goes to declare to the league and who stays. I think it's going to depend on that and what teams are ready to practice and have been practicing. But I think it's going to be pretty much the same kind of everybody's still the same team.
We are talking to Oregon cornerback recruit Jaylin Davies, 4-star recruit, nice kid. Jaylin, when I look at the game and the transition of the game and everything about it, and you talk about, a lot of these recruits that get, that are going to different schools. You played with them, you played school ball with them, and when you look at some of the talent that are going right now in college, and we might not see a college season this year because of the whole COVID-19. We might not. Do you see anybody that really stands out going into this season of college football?
There's many. Armand's definitely one of them. And then I think Cam Bynum. I haven't played with him, but I train with him often. From Cal, he's one of them. Thomas Graham, train with him a lot. He's from out where I live. Mace Funa at Oregon, he's probably gonna be another one. It's really a lot. I play with because of Trinity League and then playing with the IE Ducks. The most of them played with my youth team.
Who kind of pushed you to play football when you were younger, and who has been pushing you and saw that you have the talent to possibly play professional football? Was it your father? Was it your mother? Was it your grandmother? Was it your grandfather? Who was the person that really pushed you and saw the talent in you at a young age to say, wow, Jaylin could be a superstar college football player and soon to be NFL player? Who was it?
It was really my uncle.
Really?
Because my dad wasn't really there.
Mm-hmm.
But my mom was gone for a while. So I lived with my grandma, so he just kind of took me to football and basketball to kind of keep me out of trouble. And I just started turning out to be good at both.
So he coached you?
7th grade, he coached me for basketball for a while, for some of the teams. But football, he never really, because he was a basketball player. And then it just turned out I was better at football, so I just stuck with it. And he just kept pushing me, getting me on the right teams, meeting the right people, and it just got me here.
When I've learned about, we've interviewed so many college recruits. We really have. I think we've interviewed about 50 or 60 of them, top 100 recruits. quarterbacks, corners, and a lot of them have stories. A lot of them have been through a lot. I mean, a family life, background. Some people have lost their mothers at young ages, their fathers, never got a chance to meet their father. When you look at your life and all the struggles that you had, and everybody has struggles in their lives as kids, what really stood out to you that really pushed you to play football and get through school to be a high recruit, a top 4-star recruit? What really pushed you to move forward and really achieve your goals?
Really, like when I was little, like my mom kind of got sick when I was like 5, and she kind of got in trouble, so I took it for a while. So after I just started, like when she gets out, I'd be able to like buy her house and like she won't have to worry about it. Like all my sister and stuff, everybody be cool. Like if I get to the NFL, I kind of just based off that, kept going.
All right. Multiple part question here, Jaylin. Your favorite game, the craziest game you ever played in, and your favorite play that you had in your career so far.
My craziest game, it's probably my sophomore year. We play IMG. That was probably one of the funniest games I played in. And then you said what was your favorite play?
Your favorite play that you can remember.
Probably last year, the first Bosco game. We played Bosco. I got like the pick at the end. When my leg was turned off, I didn't know if I was gonna be able to play. And I finished it.
As you guys know, we are talking to Oregon cornerback recruit Jaylin Davies. I hear kids in the background. Was that your sister?
No, those are it's my little cousins.
That's your little cousin. Oh, so you're a family man, huh? Do you throw the football with your little cousins?
Sometimes I have another cousin, Samaj. He's like 15.
You know, it's so fun to watch documentaries, and I watch a lot of them on Netflix, football documentaries. So some of you young guys that are playing high school ball, you're highly profiled kids that people talk about before you even get into high school. You're talking about junior high, and like this guy's the next big thing. And I think it's very interesting when you hear some of their stories and all the trials and tribulations they've been through and how they've gotten through, and they're getting full scholarships to school, and it's quite amazing. It really is. And I envy some of you young kids because it hasn't been easier. It's gotten harder to get, because a lot of these colleges only have a certain amount of college scholarships they can give out. And some people, we interviewed a punter last week that was a walk-on and got a college scholarship from Stanford. I mean, what are the chances? One of the top collegiate schools in the country, one of the best coaches in the country, and he was a walk-on and he got a full-fledged college scholarship. So when you look at all the different things that have happened over your life, what was the most impressive thing that you can say before even take away your offer from Oregon for a full scholarship? What was the most impressive thing you've ever done so far in your whole entire life?
Probably just get to modern day. Like a lot of people think like it's like kind of like we just get everything like because we're football players, but really, that's a lot of work, like school.
You good student? You good student?
Oh, yeah.
What's your grade point average?
Like 3.1.
Really? That's good. I mean, you're not Devin. I mean, Devin, he liked to brag about it. 3.8, baby. Yeah. That's what he tells me.
Oh, yeah, sure. I know. They try real hard over there. Mm-hmm. But at our school, like we get home, like since we live like an hour from our school, like some of us, so like we get home at like 9, 10 o'clock to start. I'm gonna do it at 12. Then we got to be up at like 5 to go to lift and do it all over again. And sometimes I thought I probably was just gonna transfer, but I ended up staying all the way.
I will say this: I know all about that. I played hockey all the way till the end, and I was a top prospect as a hockey player, and I never slept. I also went to a private school. I didn't go to Notre, but I went to a private school in Brooklyn, and it was an all-boys school. And right after, I would go to school all the way to 6 o'clock at night because we had to take all these Spanish courses, all these different religion courses, and then
Yeah, we do that right
yep,
now, too.
and then I would get off and then go to practice, and practice was 3 hours. By the time I got home and I had my chaperone bring me home, it was 11 o'clock at night. I would eat my dinner and do it every single day, Monday through Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday I would go on tournaments, so I would never have a chance to see my family. So I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be a top athlete and have to push myself to the brink. Before I hurt my knee, I always saw myself as a professional hockey player. I was going to be I was a top prospect, top 50 prospect in my senior year of high school. So I know what it's like to be recruited and being looked at by NHL teams and being scouted by so many different people, even colleges lining up for sending me all the things. And that's what they want. They want you to sign something. I'm reading all the different things people are saying to me right now, but it's pretty funny. But anyways, as you guys know, we are talking to Oregon cornerback recruit Jaylin Davies. So, Jaylin, we do this with all our recruits, okay? We ask you silly questions, and we want you to answer them, okay?
All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
Boxers or briefs, and why?
Boxer brief. Probably briefs.
Why?
Just because, like, it's just easier. Like, they just kind of, like, forms your legs better. Like, boxers kind of, like, annoying.
Well, boxers make him hang. And
Wait, briefs? Wait, briefs?
Boxer briefs. You know, the ones that go around your leg?
Oh, yeah.
You rather boxer briefs?
Are those so small?
No, not tidy whities.
No.
Boxer briefs.
Yeah.
Boxer briefs. Yeah. Like the ones that you wear with your jock strap. You know.
Oh yeah, those are good. It's kind of like it feels like you're just kind of wearing like tights in the game or something.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, and I asked the question because a lot of you recruits give some crazy answers, and I love the questions because it kind of gets you out of your bubble. It kind of opens you up and lets people know who you are personality wise. Second question: what snack or treat do you eat before games, and why?
Before games, probably hot Cheetos.
Hot Cheetos?
I eat them like always on game day. I eat like a bag.
You eat a bag of hot Cheetos before the game?
I just like hot Cheetos. Like, it just makes me feel like I don't really get nervous, but it's just like I just do it every game. So I have to now.
Do you have Haitian blood in you? Let me ask you that.
Nah, it's Gambian.
Oh my God, I was because I had a Haitian friend, and I used to go when we used to do MMA, and we used to practice in his basement on the mats. Every time I went up for dinner, she had the hottest food. I hate spicy foods, but for some reason I love Haitian food. So, but it's hot as hell, and
it's like 20 times the amount of spicy food here.
It burns.
My grandpa likes hot stuff.
Oh my God, man! Oh my God, I hate spicy foods, man. I hate it. It makes me go to the bathroom after I eat it. So, and I won't get off the bowl for hours. Let me tell you, the hot food really burns the hell out of my stomach. So that's why I stay the hell away from it.
Cheetos all day.
Cheetos before game. I
like it.
I'd be drinking too much water. My coach would be like, you just drink a gallon of water before the game. I was like, guys, I was eating my hot Cheetos. That's what I was doing. All right, third question. Blondes or brunettes, and why?
Really, it is really she's really just cute. Like, I don't have a preference. Like, either blonde or it's either like she's better. Which one's better? Like, she's cute.
He doesn't want to throw himself under the bus. He went to visit Oregon. He saw all those beautiful women, and he doesn't want to.
I really haven't visited yet.
Oh, you didn't?
I
really?
haven't visited yet.
Really?
Because really, I visited a lot of colleges, but I always knew I liked Oregon, so I kind of hold it all. And like right when I was gonna visit, then the whole pandemic stuff happened.
So, what colleges did you visit?
I visited Clemson, Alabama, SC, UCLA.
Out of all those schools, all those top SEC teams, you're talking about
Clemson too.
Clemson, Alabama. You're talking about two of the best colleges in the country, and you decided to go to Oregon. I respect you even more. I love you even more. I really do. Because that pretty much just, when you're playing for Nick or you're playing for one of these top coaches,
Sweeney,
Dabo
all
Sweeney,
the players love, too.
Yes. You decided to go to
Coach
Oregon.
Dabo's good. We ate dinner with him.
Dabo looks cool. I never interviewed Dabo. We definitely got to get Dabo on the show. That would be something. That would be something because I have him dying on the floor. Because I got some jokes for him. I know he's a funny guy. So I watched something on HBO Sports, and they did a whole segment on him. And he's, the story behind Dabo is very interesting, and the trials and tribulations, even as a college football player playing for Bama and deciding to go and coach for Clemson. A lot of people believe that Dabo is the next guy. When Nick Saban decides to retire, he's the guy that they're going to offer the job to. I just don't see him leaving Clemson. No. But nevertheless, fourth question, and this is going to be an interesting one. I know you probably don't see my producer, and you have talked to him, and you have seen a picture of him, and you know what he looks like. I like to ask college recruits, if we hung him to a tree and used him as a piñata, what would you hit him with? Would you hit him with a racket? Would you hit him with a bat? Would you hit him with an iron? What would you hit him with? I mean, because, some people get angry, and we want to see what comes out of him. I mean, he says that if there's candy that comes out of him, you'll be very lucky. So what would you hit this kid with?
You said a bat or a pinata? I mean, bat, racket, or what else?
Mm-hmm. Anything you want. What would you hit him with?
Probably a racket.
I like a racket. All right. I like that. Every time I ask some of the recruits, they don't want to hurt his feelings. So they say, you know what, I'll just.
Only 2 of them so far.
Only 2 of them has said that they don't want to hurt him. But
usually everyone picks something, or they'll think of something on their own, too. Like we've seen people do that as well.
Well, just so you know, I have this big fly swatter right beside my table over here at the studio. And every time he does something stupid, I hit him on the back of the head. So, so I do a lot of, but I have a lot of fun, and I love that you guys are open. I want to open you guys up because I think you guys are the next big things in the NFL, and we want to keep a good relationship with you guys because we want to get you guys back on, and we want to see your growth as college players and eventually NFL players. And a lot of you guys that we've interviewed are going to be future NFL players. You are. Your top recruits, 4-star, 5-star recruits, even 3-star recruits are probably NFL players as well. So you're the cream of the crop. So we would love to get you back on the show. If there is a season, we would love to get you on and talk a little bit Oregon Duck football. Maybe we'll get you on our TikTok competition. Devin is joining this competition. What we're doing is we're going to have some of you recruits dance against other recruits, and we'll have a grand prize. I haven't decided what the grand prize is. It's going to be some money. Either between $250 or $500, and you can win some money if we'll have like a whole round robin bracket. And all the way to the finals, and whoever wins gets that prize.
And then you can buy your supply of hot Cheetos.
Are you a good dancer?
If I go with my friend, we dance sometimes, but yeah, sometimes.
All right. What kind of music you like?
Hip hop, kind of like the new stuff.
I like hip hop too. I'm a DJ. So tell me what kind of hip hop. Do not say Little Baby, okay? I do not want to hear it. Do not want to hear it. I know you do. All you recruits like Little Baby. What is this guy?
Your age group.
Little Baby? I mean, come on, man. What else do you like? Come on, give me another one.
I like Drake.
I love Drake too. I know Drake.
Boy.
I know Drake personally. Yes, my friend is his DJ travels with Drake and The Weeknd. So. I've hung out with Drake. Yeah, I've hung out with Drake. I've hung out with The Weeknd, so I know a little bit about them. Well, I would love for you to join this competition. By the way, my deal with you is if you have 3 to 4 interceptions your first year at Oregon, I will send you a 5-month supply of hot Cheetos. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
That's good, man. I will send you. That will be 2 bags of Cheetos every single week. 2 times 4 is 8. So 8 times 5 is 40. I'll send you 40 bags of hot Cheetos. if you have 3 or 4 interceptions. I'm being serious too. I write this down. I'm a man of my word, buddy. But here's my deal with you. Once you get drafted, I'm invited. We're going to set up a draft class where I'm going to have Devin and you and maybe a couple other recruits at the NFL draft, and I will be allowed to come into your sector and interview you and hang out with you and your family. How's that sound?
Oh, that sounds good. Definitely.
I'm being serious now. You better not forget this interview because we're going to get you on again, and I'm going to bring it up to you. And if you get 3 to 4 interceptions your first year, I promise you I will send you close to 40 bags of hot Cheetos that will probably save you for at least a year. I mean, I don't think you're going to eat that in 4 or 5 months, but then again, you eat a bag before games, so then again, you probably will. So then again,
I got you.
but you only play 1 game a week, so that's good for me. So there you go. So
All right, thank you.
absolutely, man. We're gonna stay in touch. We're gonna get you on. Jillian, our social media manager, will reach out to you again. We will reach out to you in the near future. We would love to get you back on, see how you're doing over there in Oregon, and I hope to see you guys in the NFL. You and Devin are 2 really, really nice kids. Him being the laughy guy, you're the straightforward guy. I would love to see you guys in a room together and just have a conversation with you two. That would be really, really funny. That would be really, really funny. I think it really would. And have you guys dance against each other. I would love to see them dance against each other. Yes.
He's too tall.
He's too tall, but it's going to be on video. It's not. It doesn't matter. You probably look taller than him on TikTok. But we'll stay in touch, bro. We really appreciate you joining us. You're a good kid. I hope all your dreams come true for you, your family, your mother. You deserve it. You've worked really, really hard to get where you are, and I'm going to be rooting for you, man. And when you ever come to New York, if you ever get drafted by a New York team, and even if you don't, when you play against a New York team, I'll show you around New York and Long Island and get to see the beauty. Have you ever been to New York?
No, I actually haven't.
You haven't? Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is something that you'll definitely experience. And if you do ever come to New York, I'll show you around and show you a little bit. I've talked to a lot of different recruits. So you come over here, you reach out to me. I would be honored to show you around New York and show you some of the beauty of things that you probably wouldn't even know about.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely, man. Stay in touch. Good luck.
You too.
Good luck. And we will be in touch. How's that sound?
All right. Oh, that sounds great.
All right, Jaylin. Thank you for joining us.
All right, thank you.
We were just talking to Oregon cornerback recruit Jaylin Davies. Nice kid. He really is a nice kid. Tried to open him up. It takes a little while. You feel uncomfortable. He's probably never done that many interviews before on a world-renowned stage. So up next, we will have special guest, Notre Dame safety recruit Nolan Ziegler here on Down to the Wire.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. You're listening to Down to the Wire on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Six 631-965-4990 is the number to call. This is Down to the Wire. We are live every single Monday and Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. New York Eastern Time. Tuesday, our show will begin at 10:30, ladies and gentlemen. Every single Tuesday, Down to the Wire will be live at 10:30 p.m. Show will below the mic. Our new times for the next couple of months on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Well, I want to give a shout-out to Jaylin Davies. Nice kid. We called him right after when we were at break. Kid seems very, very straightforward. I love the kid. I really do. I'm looking forward to watching him play for Oregon. And we have our second recruit on right now. We are now talking to Notre Dame safety recruit Nolan Ziegler. What's going on, Nolan?
I'm doing good. How are you? How are you guys?
I'm not dancing, but I'm here. I'm doing a talk show. I'm interviewing you. We have some great recruits on, and I'm happy to have you on. Jaylin told me a little bit about you, and we read a little bit about you, and I'm very excited to interview you. So, first of all, how are you and your family doing with this pandemic?
It's been a little rough. I mean, we got 4 younger siblings, and so they go to public schools, and now they just got shut down. So they're staying at home right now. So I'm the only one in school now. So yeah, we had them all last spring and the summer. So my parents are a little tired, but they'll keep up with them.
As you guys know, we are talking and interviewing Notre Dame safety recruit Nolan Ziegler. Now, Nolan, when you look at all the schools that were recruiting, and I'm sure there was tons of them, 10, 12, you're a top recruit, read a little bit about you. What made you decide to go and play for Notre Dame? Was it something that you wanted to do, since you were a kid, like Rudy? I mean, we heard some interesting stories about Joe Montana saying that Rudy story was not true. Well, whatever. What made you decide to go to Notre Dame?
Well, actually, my grandpa said the same thing about Rudy. He actually played there, but so there's a bunch of different aspects. I mean, I'm going there to go win a championship for them and get a great education and have a great faith aspect in it. And also on top of that, we are a huge Irish Catholic family. I'm born on St. Patrick's Day. We also have relations with the program, and I think it just fits in so many different ways. I mean, I go to Catholic Central, and my head coach happens to be the one coach who knows both Coach Quinn and Coach Kelly personally, because coaching at Grand Valley together. So it's just I think it just fits in so many ways. It's really it. I mean, there's no other program that can offer all that.
Yeah, so the big name reputation of Notre Dame football is one of the biggest things in all of college sports. Obviously, they haven't won in a while, probably since that 1980s.
He doesn't like Notre Dame. He doesn't like Notre Dame, Nolan. He doesn't. That's why he's attacking you here.
No, Nolan, I would never attack you. I would never attack you, Nolan. Don't you worry. So, again, was that a big reason in comparison to some of the other schools you were recruited by, in addition to, obviously, your father playing there? And just, again, the glamour of Notre Dame football, just the reputation of it, the popularity. They pack the stadium, sell out all the time. So what were some of the other factors as well, in addition to football, to contributing to that?
Well, obviously, I mean, I loved watching them. I've grown up going to the games. I mean, their gold helmets are iconic. I mean, there's just no other place really like it. I mean, I've grown up watching all the players go there, watch them develop. I mean, it's just been awesome. I mean, their stadium, their campus is so unique. I mean, it's just got it's such a cool feel when you step onto it. And I think it's just a very special place, and it just fits.
As you guys know, we are talking to Notre Dame safety recruit Nolan Ziegler. Now, Nolan, you're 6'4", you're 205 pounds. An average safety in the NFL is about 6 foot, 6'1". You're a big man. Yeah. You're a big man. That's a linebacker size, 6'4", 6'5". So you're a pretty big man. What do you run the 40 in right now?
So the fastest I've clocked in, that's 4.49 hand.
Wow. That's pretty fast.
Very good.
With that, where we had our complex.
So
I think I'm anywhere from there. So I ran a 4.7 at the Under Armour camp.
Wow.
But, yeah.
So for a safety, that's pretty fast. It's pretty fast. Yeah. So, what is your strong attributes? Are you a ball hawk? Do you use your speed? Do you use your size? What type of player? Because in college, you get looked at in so many different ways because you usually see the spread offense. It's very popular in college football. It's not like the NFL style. You'll see some NFL style of games, but the spread offense is completely different. And a lot of NFL teams are starting to use the spread offense, which helps a lot of college players out. What type of player are you? Are you a guy that is a ball hawk? Do you use your speed? Are you a rough player? You like to hit? What type of player are you?
Well, I just think that's why one of the things that makes me unique is I can just do all that. I mean, I can go up and go make interceptions. I can come up and hit the ball carrier. I love being physical. I mean, I can play out in space. I can cover guys. I mean, I actually think that's one of the unique things. I mean, I got the length to boot up front, and I can go pick off balls. I mean, I played basketball my whole life and also lacrosse. And so, I mean, I think both those sports helped me a lot with athleticism, and I just think that's one of the best things that I bring to the table is I can do all that. And going to be exciting playing for Notre Dame.
Brian Kelly. What's and I know a lot about Mr. Kelly, Coach Kelly, because this is one of the most underrated coaches in college football. And the reason why is because over the years, I remember when he was in, I think it was Cincinnati, right?
Yes.
It was Cincinnati.
And they were so mad, those fans.
And
undefeated season.
And I loved him in Cincinnati. Ever since he went to Notre Dame, he hasn't really had much luck. He went to one national championship game. He lost the whole Matateo thing.
Oh, that was funny.
Over in Notre Dame. It really didn't help the program at that situation and what was going on, him being catfished. Tell us a little bit about Brian Kelly, what you know about him, Coach Kelly.
Well, from my coach, I know that he's definitely a well-respected guy, and he's built a great program there, and I'm definitely excited to play for him and bring a national championship to him. And I just think he's obviously, he knows what he's doing, and I just think I'll definitely work well with him, and I'll give him what he wants, and he'll give me what I want. And I just think we'll definitely work together, especially if he coached with my high school coach, and I know a good thing. I know what he'll be like. I mean, he's going to be pushing me. He's going to be getting me going, and I just think, I like that type of coaching, and I think I'll definitely fit right in with him.
So what you say he knows what you want. What do you want? Do you want to play in the NFL? Is that your goal? Is that your pressed goal that you want to be? You want to be a professional football player, or you just want to get the college education and see where that goes? And maybe the NFL is definitely there's an opportunity in the future that you could play in the NFL. What are you looking to do?
Yeah, so definitely education and winning a national championship there first, and then definitely. I'll definitely want to go to the NFL, and he said I can definitely do that. Just keep working every day, and I just got to keep pushing myself. So if it's definitely there, I'm definitely going to do that, and that's definitely one of my goals. But it's definitely first goal is to help the team win and get a great education and improve my faith.
So Notre Dame being an independent team, the NCAA a lot has been harsh on those independent teams, especially with football, whether they get the ACC schedule, they get a lot of Big Ten games, because they're obviously Notre Dame. They're a big reputation. Do you think the NCAA should lighten up on some of those things when it comes to scheduling and rankings and stuff like that when it comes to independent teams, just obviously because you're not in a conference like Notre Dame is?
Well, that's always been tough because, they always got to go undefeated to make the playoffs, which, I see why, because they're not playing in a conference. But I do think they should lighten up a little bit. I think because they're just a great program, just like all other schools, and I think just giving them a shot more would definitely be nice. But either way, if they got to go on the field to do it, and then if that's the only way, then they got to do that. So they can't control that, and they just got to focus on being the best team possible and just improving every day, and that's what I'll help them do that.
We are talking to Notre Dame safety recruit Nolan Ziegler. Now, Nolan, I look at the safety position, and a lot of people are now the NFL is really profiling that safety position. We just saw a couple of years ago Collins get the big contract that he got. We just another safety.
Buda Baker. Yep.
Baker just got a new big contract, and now Jamal Adams practically ran himself out of New York because he wants a big contract. When you look at the safety position now than you ever have, is the safety position becoming a priority position right now in college and NFL football in your mind?
Well, yeah, I think it's definitely becoming a bigger factor. They need someone to cover those 6'4", 6'5" tight ends. Those 6'4", 5'11" DBs can't do that. And so I think that's one of the big factors, and I think it just brings a whole other level of versatility to the game and helping the defense just make better plays overall against big time players on offense.
In addition to the athleticism of those players, one of the other things they look at too is versatility. Now you have to be in the box safety to stop the run. You got to sometimes line up as a slot corner like we see Honey Badger do for the Chiefs. So is that another element that your coaches have stressed to you in your time playing football so far? And if so, do you expect it to be going forward in college football, especially with a big name team like Notre Dame?
Well, yeah, I definitely am always. I mean, I'm doing one-on-one with Jace Williams, and I love competing with my teammates and my coaches. I mean, they always help me get better at that. But yeah, they're definitely. I mean, I do a lot of work with the linebackers and like run fits and then being in the box. But I'll also go out. I'll definitely work on man-to-man because I want to be good at it. If I'm ever, when I ever get the chance to in the game, and then so really, I mean, they definitely are preparing me for basically everything.
As you guys know, we are talking to Notre Dame safety recruit Nolan Ziegler. So, Nolan, do you ever see yourself possibly moving from the safety position to the linebacker position in the future? I mean, you're a pretty big kid. You're young. You're going to grow. You're going to get bigger. You're going to get stronger. Have you ever thought of yourself as if you're running a 40 in like 4.4, 4.7 between those times, you'd be one of the fastest linebackers in the league. You really would. You'd be one of the fastest linebackers in the NFL. Did you ever think about maybe transitioning your game to an outside linebacker?
Yeah, actually, I definitely do. So I'll work on some of the moves with my dad, some pass rushing moves if I ever needed to, because I was going to be camps this summer if they ever wanted me there. But yeah, I'm open to really playing anywhere on defense. I mean, it's just fun anywhere, and I just love it. And I would definitely linebackers is super fun to play. I mean, I enjoy it a lot, and I love pass rushing too. Outside linebacker. So I mean, I love going to get the quarterback, and I got to do that a couple times near the end of the season. But I don't think I really got to show it off that much, and I'd definitely love to show that.
Is there a particular player that you can pick that play college football and in the NFL that you can compare your skills to?
Actually, Isaiah Simmons. I love watching him.
Well, I think
also, yeah.
He's going to be a special player.
I wanted him so badly on the Giants.
He's going to be a special player in Arizona with that team and with some of the young talent that they have over there. Isaiah, he's another guy that I really would have liked on the Jets. I mean, the Jets didn't have a high enough pick to get him, and I think if he was there at 11,
also had more other needs.
Yeah, but if the Jets would have had the 7th or 8th pick, even because they need an offense, I still think they would have drafted Isaiah Simmons. I do. To have a safety with that kind of ability, and you're hearing stories that he might move to linebacker. They might move him to linebacker. So the talent that kid has, I mean, the speed, the agility, his power, his strength. I mean, look at his size and what he can lift. What did he lift? 225, 36 times, 35 times,
and he ran a 4.39,
and he won a 4.39 as a safety / linebacker. I mean, it's ridiculous what these guys can do now. I mean, you being 6'4", 205 pounds, you're going to get bigger. And by the time your college career is over in 2 years, you might gain about 20, 30 pounds. You're going to be a big man. You're going to be a really big man. And the way they work out over there in Notre Dame, I guarantee you Brian Kelly's going to push you to the brink. I mean, you're going to be a lot bigger, a lot stronger, and a lot faster by the time you're done with Notre Dame.
Yeah, I think that's just all the upside, dude. I mean, I want to see play just like Isaiah Simmons or like a Sean Taylor. I love watching him. I love a Keith Tranquil. I mean, I love watching all those guys, the big hitters. So yeah, so it'll definitely be interesting these next 4 years.
So can you see an Isaiah Simmons trend start happening where you're seeing guys that can play multiple positions all at once? Sometimes we see safety linebacker hybrids. Sometimes we see safety corner hybrids, but they're not as much of a primary as they are now. Now you see Isaiah Simmons, who could practically play every position imaginable except for defensive end and defensive tackle on the field now. Can you see more of those types of things in the future because of Isaiah Simmons if he becomes a great player like he's supposed to?
Yeah, colleges are always. I think the colleges and the NFL are definitely gonna love players like that. But I just think it's just hard to get like the height, the length, and the speed and the strength all together, and the IQ. And I just think he's one of the players that had that, and I think I can definitely bring something like that to the table. And so I think that's one of the things I'm most excited about.
Have you ever met Isaiah Simmons? Have you ever reached out to Isaiah Simmons in any kind of way?
No, I actually just like would look up his numbers and his goals over quarantine, and I just worked towards them because he was high first round pick, and I love watching him because I think he definitely fits like my profile a lot, like my same build, and, like same position. And so, I mean, even though they're on Clemson, I just think he's a great player.
You should, and I'll say this, Nolan, you should reach out to him on Twitter because Isaiah, he knows that you're a college recruit and stuff like that. If you have any questions about college football or football, you should reach out to him because he's one of those guys. I guarantee you, if you reach out to him, he'll probably answer you. So,
yeah,
you should definitely reach out to him. You should. You never know. He might hit you up and say, yeah, I'd love to talk to you. Because I know a lot of people, like Ray Lewis, he actually, if you reach out to Ray Lewis, he will absolutely reach out to you. If he knows who you are and you sincerely want to know a little bit about football, he will reach out to you and talk to you, whatever you want to talk about. How to defend this, how do you defend that. He's one of those guys that he will talk forever. Ray Lewis, I've talked to Ray Lewis. He will talk forever. So... And he's a guy that is one of the greatest to ever play the game. And he's a guy that you can definitely get information from at any position because he knows it. And he's very good friends with Ed Reed. And he's another guy that we've been trying to get on the show. And hopefully we'll have him on the show very, very soon as well. Before we let you go, we do this to a lot of recruits. We ask them silly questions. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
There we go. Boxers or briefs, and why?
Boxers or briefs? I like briefs.
Why?
Because they're a little more comfortable. I think a little more smooth. Feel better.
That's a good enough answer. You should hear some of the answers we get from some of you recruits.
Way too much analysis.
Yeah, but I love it. I love it.
Do.
I love it. I think it's very interesting. With all these recruits, they have their own personality. So I want to see them bring out their personality. All right. What is your favorite snack to eat before a game, and why?
I love we always stop at Jimmy John's as a team. We'll always go there. But I love peanut butter and jelly and Gatorade.
Jimmy John's. What's Jimmy John's?
It's a chain sub place.
It's a chain sub? What is that?
Like Subway or Jersey Mike's or something like that.
Oh, it's like that?
Yeah.
I got it. So where's that? Where are those located? Where could you go and go? Michigan? They have them over there?
Yeah, sorry. What are you asking about?
No, Jimmy John's. I've never even heard of him.
Yeah, he was wondering where they're located, like regionally. Because there's not a lot of them here.
Oh, yeah.
There's none.
There's a good amount over here in West Michigan.
You have a 7-Eleven over there? Do you have 7-Elevens over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's it's funny, Nolan. I've been to Michigan quite a few times at hockey tournaments, but I never got a really chance to look around and see some of the things they have. And I never even heard of Jimmy John's before. I've heard of Cheap John's that used to be here in Long Island long time ago, but never Jimmy John's. But I've heard about Wawa's. I've heard about 7-Eleven because we have them over here, but we don't have any Jimmy John's over here. So when you said Jimmy John's, I've never heard of it. So
it's a sub. It's all about it's a deli, so it's like a bunch of different. They can do a bunch of different subs. So
you like the big?
Pretty good.
You like the? What kind of what's your favorite sub to eat?
Sub, I'm more of I like pepper jack, which is all the meat. So I'll do like pepperoni, turkey, salami, and not many vegetables. I'm not a big vegetable guy, but.
Don't worry, you're young. You're young. You don't need any vegetables yet. Once you get into your 30s, buddy, you better get ready because you're going to need all that lettuce, tomato, and all that other stuff.
He'll just stick with the pepper jack cheese.
Yeah.
I hate it, man. I'm 38 years old. I'm very athletic. I'm about 5'11". I'm about 5'10", 5'11", and I'm about your weight. I'm 205 pounds. I'm in pretty good shape. I work out, but when I graduated, when I was your age, I was a hockey player and I was a top prospect. I graduated 125 pounds. I wasn't even close to 200 pounds. Now, at one point, about a year and a half ago, I was 225 pounds. I was at my biggest and my strongest, and did everything naturally. I don't believe in protein or anything. You know what I mean? If I do have protein, I would have it with steak or chicken. I never even went to buy protein shakes because I don't believe in them. So, but for a kid who's 6'4", 205 pounds, you're going to be a big kid, man. You're what, 17 years old?
16. I turned 16 in March.
Oh, you're 16 years old? Are you kidding me? Oh, my God. When you're 18, 19 years old, you're going to be like 220, 230, man. You're going to be huge. You're going to be a big man. Yeah, and you run a 40 and 4.7, 4.6?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think I'm honestly, I'm like 4.5.
4.5. Jeez. Man, you will be. You're going to be. You'll be some player, man. If you're 230 pounds, you could still run between a 4.5 and a 4.7. You're definitely in the conversation as an NFL player. There's no question about that. I mean, your size and your ability, and if you're a ball hawk, you're the best of both worlds. So that's very, very interesting. Third question: blondes or brunettes, and why?
Blondes or brunette?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't really got a type like that, but I like probably brunette.
Oh, man, you guys are no fun today. Maybe. It went from Jaylin Davies over there in California telling me, well, I have no preference. I like them all.
I don't know. I don't really know. I mean, my family, I don't know. I like them both.
First of all, do you have a girlfriend?
No, I don't.
You don't have a girlfriend? 6'4", 205 pound superstar football player, and you don't have a girlfriend. I'm surprised.
I'm focused on the bag.
I got it. I know what you're focused on. You're focused on the big picture here. I'm going to Notre Dame. There's enough girls there.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of beautiful girls over there. I can't lie to you. I've been there before. Anyways, last question. Now, this is a good question. I'm going to give you four people in order. Who would you go out and date in order? Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Matt Damon, or Katy Perry. Give me the order on who you would go out with first to last.
I don't even know the second or third person, but I know Katy Perry and Britney Spears. But
Matt Damon. You know who Matt Damon is.
Who is it?
Matt Damon, the movie star.
I never saw any of the Born Identity movies.
I want to get you. I want to see where you would put him.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Talking about a girl.
I know. I'm just messing with you. How would you put him in order? Who's your number one recruit right there? Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, Matt Damon, and Katy Perry. In order, who would you recruit first to go out with?
Probably Matt Damon. And,
you would pick Matt Damon first?
Same strategy as Connor.
Who was that, Connor, right?
It was Connor Wesselman. The same strategy. Errol asked him, I think, Ben Affleck, Cyndi Lauper, and two other people, and he did the same thing. Got rid of the guy first, I guess.
He got rid of the guy first. He put the best to the last, which is very interesting. So you got Matt Damon first. Okay, who's your second?
We'll do probably Britney Spears.
Okay.
And Christina and Katy.
Oh, so he's a Katy Perry fan. That's what it is. I see it. I see it.
Well, I was doing that. That was first to last.
I know what you were doing. But anyways, thank you for joining us, my friend. We're going to be in touch with you if there is a season this year, which it doesn't seem like there will be. Next year, we'll be in touch with you before you go to Notre Dame, and we'd love to hear, get you on when you're playing for Notre Dame, your thoughts to where Notre Dame is going as a rookie player, and we'll be in touch with you all the way to the NFL because you kids, you're the next crop. You're the next big crop moving forward of NFL players, and we love to get you guys on and see where you guys develop and how you guys develop, and we're big fans of you guys, and I'm looking forward to seeing your growth as a football player.
Thank you. Yeah, we should be playing in the spring. That's what we're planning on. But
okay.
Yeah, I'll definitely love to come back on.
Absolutely, man. You seem like a really, really good kid. Oh, dude, anytime, man. Anytime you want to come and talk, shoot whatever you want to shoot, man. You can come on the show and we can talk, man. I know you said you play basketball. Who do you got to win the NBA championship?
Yeah, I think it just depends. If LeBron turns up, I think they got it. I think he's just gonna go into a different mode.
I used to love LeBron James. I used to love him, and I had a respect for him. But after everything that's gone on in the last couple of weeks, I've lost a lot of respect for him. So I'm not rooting for him this year. I've lost a lot of respect. Lost a lot of respect for him.
Powerhouse or the Bucks.
The Bucks? You got the Bucks?
Yeah. I don't know. I think maybe.
They got
something to play for now.
Yeah, I've got the Celtics, and I've got the
Clippers.
The Clippers. I got the Celtics versus the Clippers in the NBA championship, and I got the Clippers winning the whole thing.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I did something about.
They've been turning up pretty recently. Yeah, I think the Clippers will beat the Bucks. I think it's either.
Oh, I do. I don't. The only team that will give, in my eyes, the only team in the East that'll give those Western Conference teams problems is the Celtics. Just because I think their speed and the way they shoot the ball and they play team defense. I think they can give a lot of those teams in the way. They just don't have the size. That's the only problem.
That's what's going to make them lack against the Lakers if that was the matchup.
But I don't think it's going to be the Lakers. I think the Lakers are going to get knocked out by the Clippers. I really do. I just think the Clippers have those perimeter defenders, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. They have so many perimeter defensive players. And if Bradley doesn't come back,
get him back.
Yeah, but if Bradley doesn't come back for the Lakers, I mean,
I don't think he is.
I don't think he's coming back. So they brought him in because of his perimeter defense, and they don't have a real big top perimeter defender. So I don't know.
Their guards are all awful.
I think the Lakers are going to be in a lot of trouble if they play the Clippers in the Western Conference Championship.
Yeah, those games have always been close when they play. So.
You a hockey fan? You a hockey fan?
Lakers and Clippers.
Are you a hockey fan?
Hawks?
Are you a hockey fan?
No, I do like the Celtics. They're probably.
Oh man, I just lost a lot of respect for you. I just lost a lot of respect for you now.
You were the one who picked them in the NBA Finals.
I did, but not because I like them. Because that's just my pick. Because that's my analytic, professional pick. I think the Celtics are going to the NBA championship. I do, but that doesn't mean I like them. And you just said he likes them.
I know.
My favorite player is on that Celtic team, Kemba Walker. He's my favorite player in the NBA. He's from my way. I know Kemba pretty well. I've met him a couple of times when he played for UConn. I have a lot of respect for him. I just don't respect. It's funny. I want to get him on the show because I just want to tell him how much I hate him now that he plays for the Celtics. So. But Kemba, all in good fun. I'm sure he'll laugh at that just like you are. So, but anyways,
I like the Celtics. They're probably my favorite team because I got the Irish. Now
you're really starting to get me angry. Now you're probably your favorite team.
He's got the connection.
I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you. I'm messing with you. Listen, you're a Celtic fan. You're a Celtic fan.
Oh yeah.
Well, Nola, we got the theme requested by Jillian of "I'm shipping up to Boston" by the Dropkick Murphys. So I guess that's somewhat fitting.
Yeah,
that's what we played when we came back from commercial.
Thanks to Jillian.
Jillian wanted us to play that track for you, so there you go.
Yeah,
Jillian's looking out for you, man. I mean, Jillian, our social media manager, she's great, and I'm sure you spoke to her. Jillian looks out for our recruits and all the different people we've interviewed. Yeah, we interview professional athletes, radio show hosts, we coaches. We interview everybody. So, it's great to talk to you because you're the next crop, and I'm very intrigued to what you guys say because you guys you're young, you're babies, and you're going to be interviewed plenty of times, and I think that I want you guys to understand that the way we interview is not like any other interview you've ever had, and I want you guys to feel like comfortable when you interview with us and you come on with our show. So,
I appreciate it. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely,
definitely some time.
Absolutely. Nolan, thank you for joining us, buddy. And we'll keep in touch, and we'll stay in touch with you. We will send you the different, we'll send you a video clip so you can post it on your social media. Follow us on our social media if you haven't followed us on our social media.
I followed you guys.
And we're going to be looking forward to watching you grow at Notre Dame. And maybe when we get you on the next time, maybe you could tell us some of the crazy things Brian Kelly has told you in the locker room. How's that sound?
Yeah,
I know somebody who used to play for Brian, and he tells me when he gets angry, he's very interesting and very funny. So I can only imagine.
He's always been that way. He's
a
head coach.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear. Well, because I've heard some crazy stories about Brian Kelly. So very intriguing, very funny. But I root for Brian because I followed him with Cincinnati. I'm not a big Notre Dame fan, but. When I talk to a lot of you recruits and I watch you guys grow and see where you guys are heading in the future and what you guys could be in the future, I only root you guys on. It don't matter where you're playing or who you're playing for. I root the person, the player. So thank you for coming on our show, my friend.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no problem.
Absolutely. Stay calm, stay collective. Stay calm and stay collective, and tell Daddy Dukes get you up to 230 so you can play linebacker too.
All right, I will. I'll make sure. I'll keep getting stronger.
You're going to be strong. You're going to be a big kid, man. You're going to be a real big kid.
All right.
Anyways,
thank you
so much for joining us. Nolan Ziegler, ladies and gentlemen, young kid, smart kid, very funny. In his own little way, he's very, very interesting. So, before we go. And we didn't have that many breaks, so I'm pretty worn out today. It's been a long day for me. I tell you, stress, everything that's going on, but whatever. That's why we're here to entertain all of you guys. But what did we miss today? The
baseball trade deadline.
The trade deadline. That's right. Did the Yankees and the Mets do anything?
The Mets made a couple small trades. They got Todd Frazier back for whatever strange reason. They traded a low level prospect.
Leadership.
Okay, maybe, but they traded a low-level prospect to Texas for him, and then they also Texas as well. Not in the same trade, but they traded for their catcher Robinson Chirinos, who's kind of similar to Wilson Ramos, probably a poor man Wilson Ramos. He's good offensively, but defensively he's a liability behind the plate. Not very good at throwing out base runners or blocking the pass balls, the wild pitches, anything like that.
The Yankees made nothing.
The Yankees did nothing. Which,
surprising.
Yeah, I'm surprised too because Cashman's usually always very active. And
I think Cashman feels that all the big players are coming back very, very soon. Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, they're all on their way back. I think, what are they, a week away?
Right.
So why go out there and throw away players like you have Garcia, who looks like he's a stud. I mean, he came up and he looks like a stud. And I told you about that kid.
Yes, you did.
I really do believe that kid is going to be the next big pitcher for the New York Yankees, the next ace for the New York Yankees. No matter Garrett Cole there or not, I think he'll be eventually be better than Garrett Cole. I really do believe that. He's got 5 pitches and everything I read about. The only problem that a lot of people say about him is his size. He's 5'9", 5'10". He's not a big kid. And he throws really, really hard, and people are afraid that he's going to throw out his arm. But he works out with Pedro Martinez. They say the way he throws the ball and the way he pitches is like Pedro Martinez. So I'm interested to see where that kid goes for the Yankees. And he looked okay at spring training before they sent him down. He didn't make the team, and then all of a sudden, because of injuries, they called him up, and he looks really, really good.
Yeah. It's always just weird, though, because Cashman usually always does something, and a lot of times it's random. It's completely random. Like trading for Canley, I think 3 years ago, I mean, when they had all those relief pitchers, that was kind of random. Last year you had McCutchen when they had all those outfielders.
How about Voit? He traded for Voit. Voit looks like a star.
Right, Voit was a gem that they found.
He has, 8 home runs already? Yeah. I mean, he leads the Yankees in home runs already. I mean, the guy's going to hit about 20-something home runs.
And it seems like they always find these random players that just work out, the guys that are gems, they're young players that didn't work with their other teams, and they didn't do that this year, which is very bizarre.
Voit was good with the Cardinals.
Voit was good, but he was never as good as he was with the Yankees.
No, because they really didn't use him enough. He wasn't that big guy. He wasn't their starting first baseman. He was the backup. Adams was their starting first baseman.
Right, and once Adams left, I think it was the 2016 season when he left and went to the Nationals. That's when Voit broke out initially in the first half of that season, but then he never was the same after that. Then all of a sudden with the Yankees, he's the best player offensively for them in the second half of the 2018 season, and then kind of down last year, and now he's back to that form. So it's very, very interesting, the player you're getting out of him.
Well, I don't think it's very interesting. It's just the Yankees organization. They know how to scout, and they know how to find players, and they find the cream of the crop. And that's why the Yankees are where the Yankees are, and the Mets are where they are. So when the Mets actually find those players, they did, J.D. Davis being one of them. He's had a little bit of an off season this year, but I still think J.D. Davis is going to be a good player. Pete Alonso's had an off season. I think eventually, he still can pick his game up and still hit 15 to 20 home runs. So you can only hope as a Met fan that they can do that. I mean, I'm not a Met fan, but I root on the Mets. I don't hate the Mets. But the Yankees, I thought the Yankees were going to make a move. I was hearing Hayden again. That's what I heard.
Who did not get traded. Hader did not get traded.
Hader, I'm sorry.
He did not get traded, which I think the Brewers made the right move for that. I think they're just trying to sell high on if they were to get him, because he's not a free agent until next year, so they don't have to rush it as much. So they did the right thing.
And the Yankees will get him, because the Yankees been wanting to get him for the last 2 seasons. They just didn't want to give up the prospects that they want.
Right.
I was hearing Clint Frazier in the trade. The Yankees I think Clint Frazier is untouchable.
Yeah, they can't trade him now. He's been amazing this year.
He's untouchable, and he's there. He's going to fill in for Gardner when Gardner's gone.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen. I could see the Yankees moving on from not Aaron Judge,
Aaron Hicks.
Aaron Hicks. I could see that. Even though Aaron Hicks is having a decent season, even though he's been fighting it, he can't stay healthy.
Right.
So I would put Clint Frazier at center field and Giancarlo standing at left field and Aaron Judge in right. And that's your starting outfield. That's a pretty good starting outfield. Yeah. You got power and you got ability. I think Frazier could be a 5-star player. A five-tool player. Mm-hmm. I think he could be that type of player.
He's had that kind of hype for a while since he was a prospect to become that kind of thing. We're seeing it now with some other young outfielders that got called up recently. But Frazier had that similar kind of hype, just like somebody like Acuna too. Probably not to the same extent, but similar like that, where he could definitely do the 5 tools. And he had a couple lapses last year defensively, but he got better after that.
That's it for our show, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back on Tuesday. We'll be here tomorrow.
New time.
10:30 p.m. I will be dead tired, but I'm going to be ready. We have a couple. Who do we have on tonight?
I have no confirmed guest yet, because the one Jaylin found already, he said he got sick. So
okay, so we might not have any guests.
We'll have to see.
So we will get into a lot of things that are going on in sports. I do want to get more into this social injustice situation. We talked about it. Me and Eric Coleman talked about it on the Weekend Crunch this weekend. By the way, that was
awesome. That
was a fantastic show on Saturday. If you guys did not watch or listen to the show, go to our app, go to any of our podcasts, the replays of a show, the Weekend Crunch this Saturday. We interviewed Kevin Weeks. It was a fantastic interview. Definitely check it out. He is right now the runner-up on possibly getting that GM job at the Florida Panthers. So it's going to be very fun and very interested to see what Kevin. I wish I knew that, because then I would have asked Kevin a little bit more information. But up next, the Wise Guys, right?
Yes, indeed.
We have the Wise Guys
later tonight as well. Stefan texted me. The BS Sports Show will be doing an hour as well tonight at 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. So Wise Guys up next, BS Sports Show shortly after that at 10 p.m.
And we have a couple of new shows joining us in the near future, so stay tuned for that. I'm looking forward to it. Until tomorrow, this is Errol Marks and Speedy Petey saying good night. We'll talk to you then. Good night, everybody.
You're listening to the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.